The Ford Everest has been a star 4x4 wagon for years, but now the new Isuzu MU-X has arrived and looks like being a tough challenger. Which is better and why? Let's find out. The Everest is a ladder frame SUV based on the popular Ranger Ute. The MU-X is based on the highly rated D-Max. Both have turbo diesel 4-cylinder engines, low-range 4x4 systems and 7 seats. Both can also tow substantial loads, although the MU-X has the edge here, capable of hauling up to 3,500 kilograms versus 3,100 for the Everest. In this case, we're testing the mid-spec Everest Trend against the top-spec MU-X LST because they line up on price. The all-new MU-X is sleeker and more modern looking than its popular predecessor. The Everest has been around since 2015 and its attractive shape is very familiar. The Everest Trend gets this new look grille for 2021. Other key exterior features are its standard 18-inch alloys, side steps, roof rails and LED headlights. Key MU-X exterior highlights include these 20-inch alloy wheels, maybe not the best choice for off-roading. Roof rails, side steps and LED headlights are all standard. Measure for measure, these two are very close. The MU-X has the longer wheelbase and is slightly longer and wider, but the Everest is taller. The Everest comes with a choice of 2 engines. Here we've gone for the newer and more expensive 2-litre bi-turbo 4-cylinder. The MU-X only comes with one engine choice, a big 3-litre 4-cylinder. Despite its smaller capacity, the Ford engine has all the numbers going its way. It produces more power and torque, is claimed to be less thirsty, and it even wins the transmission gear count. Its auto has 10 gears. The Isuzu comes with a more orthodox 6. The Everest is a very well-known package these days and comes with an interior that offers both pluses and minuses. The driver's seat is supportive, but the steering column only adjusts vertically, making it more of a challenge to get comfortable. The instrument panel of the Everest has always been a bit compromised in the way it scrunches so much information into the right-hand side. For instance, you can't have the tacho and the digital speedo up at the same time. The Everest also doesn't have wireless charging and only cable connectivity for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The good news is the Sync 3 operating system works efficiently. It's a bit annoying how you have to drill into the touchscreen to adjust things like climate control. On the flip side, the good news is there's heaps of storage options around the cabin. Ford says 30. The MU-X feels that little bit more spacious when you climb in, although the overall ambience is a bit darker. The driver's seat doesn't feel quite as supportive as the Everest, but it's got full power adjustability and the steering wheel adjusts for reach and rake. The instrument panel of the MU-X is much less compromised than the Everest. You've got a full-time tacho and you can see the digital speedo at all times. The touchscreen is larger and higher up than the Everest, but it isn't quite as easy to use. Apple CarPlay can be connected wirelessly, but Android Auto is via cable only. There's no shortage of storage options in the MU-X. There's even a double glove box. The newer MU-X has the edge when it comes to safety. There's more airbags, a 2021 ANCAP 5-star rating, and more driver assistance features. Importantly, both come with autonomous emergency braking, a proven lifesaver. It's pretty close between the two, but having a properly adjustable steering wheel and all the instruments you want available all the time puts the Isuzu in front. Getting comfortable in the second seat of the Everest Trend is aided by the sliding seat base and the reclining seat back. 2 adults can fit comfortably back here. Head to the third row and things are a bit tighter. This is an area for kids and the vertically challenged. Getting in and out is a bit of a challenge too. The second row of the MU-X is also generous for seating space, like the Everest. However, the seat base doesn't slide. The good thing though is The seat does flip forward really well to allow easy entry and exit from the third row.
And back here there is no doubt how much more room there is than the Everest. Adults can fit without feeling compressed.
Both boots are accessed by power tailgates and both are sizable. But when it comes to sheer volume, the MUX has the edge.
Our Everest Trend is power folding and raising rear seats, which are part of a $550 option pack along with an alloy wheel for your spare tyre.
So far, the MUX has the slight edge, but let's go driving and see what happens. The Everest is comfy like a favourite old shoe. You just slip into it and away you go. It's got some really impressive driving traits both on and off-road.
The 2-litre engine is strong and refined in its responses. The only real drawback is the obvious way the auto shuffles through early gears. Speaking of which, shifting manually via this rocker on the gear shift is a pain and is really reserved for towing.
There's no doubt the Everest benefits from its local chassis tuning. It really does handle well considering it's a big, heavy and high SUV. The steering too is impressive, a nice balance between weight and accuracy.
Trading in the Ranger's leaf springs for coils and a Watts link does help with Ranger ride comfort. We know from past experience it copes exceedingly well with corrugations. It also helps that the Everest is very quiet inside the cabin. That's despite Ford removing noise cancelling and acoustic side glass from the Trend this year. It's another example of cost cutting Ford's been quietly doing throughout the year.
The Everest trades in the Ranger's part-time 4x4 system for a permanent system, and that just makes life a little bit easier. It also comes with a terrain management system that adjusts drivetrain and other settings depending on the surface you're travelling on. Here, we're doing some bush bashing on a gravel track and it's going fine. The MUX is slightly bigger than the Everest. You also sit slightly higher, but it also has lighter low-speed steering, so in some ways it feels more nimble.
The MUX's 3-litre engine is not the equal of the Everest 2-litre in terms of refinement. It revs a bit slower too, but there's plenty of pulling power here and there's a proper manual shift.
Like the Everest, the MUX trades in leaf springs for coils in the rear suspension, and it really does seem to help. These big wagons aren't renowned handlers, but the MUX does a really decent job.
The MUX doesn't have quite the ride finesse of the Everest. It is slightly more reactive over bumps, but it's still comfortable and a big step forward from the old model.
It's not always appreciated that ladder frame SUVs that literally bolt the body to the frame are often quieter than car-like integral monocoque SUVs. And the MUX underlines that. Apart from its growly engine, it's really quite refined. The MUX retains the D-Max's 4x2 system, which just means there's an extra bit of fiddling with dials, so you go from 4x2 to 4x4 and then on to four-wheel drive low if you're really getting into the gnarly stuff. The MUX also includes a lockable rear diff for the first time, and it has a feature called Rough Terrain, which modifies the traction control system for going off-road. They all work really well, and like the Everest, this is a decent bush track basher.
Overall, the Everest does just edge the MUX as a drive, but it's close and a great tribute to the team at Isuzu for the improvements they have achieved. The Ford comes with a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty, while the Isuzu is covered for 6 years and 150,000 kilometres. Servicing intervals are 12 months, 15,000 kilometres for both, and each come with a cap price servicing plan. If there's one thing this comparo confirms, it's that ladder frame SUVs have come a long way. The Everest capabilities have been known for a while, but the new MUX is significantly improved. It's a terrific effort.
In fact, the MUX does a good enough job to emerge with a narrow but decisive victory in this comparo. It's got a strong engine, it goes well on and off-road, it's got a spacious interior and a very strong safety spec. Look, there's a new Everest due as soon as 2022, so we'll look forward to finding out then whether Ford can get back on top.